Hello, I'm Christopher Bayliss from Fast Growth Online. Thank you for downloading the Fast Growth workbook entitled Prepare Your Business for a High Value Sale. During this journey of fast growth, we've talked about how you can grow your business, survive and thrive, how you can improve it, and now, where it's appropriate, how you can sell it. There is a workbook entitled Sell Your Business for Maximum Value, but this is the one beforehand, which is how to prepare it for a high value sale. Today I'm joined by Tim Bentle from Tim Bentle LLP. Tim, thank you very much for giving your valuable time to come and be with us today and share your experience and expertise on this very important subject. What we're going to do is just talk about the context of this particular workbook and why it's important. And then we're going to look at the workbook and just identify a couple of hints and tips for our viewers to use. Tim, before we start, can you briefly share with us what you do at Tim Bentle LLP?
Yes, certainly. We specialise in providing strategic advice to owner-managed businesses and particularly to professional firms.
And prior to setting up this new business, you were with a large firm of chartered accountants in the UK?
Indeed, a firm called BDO, and I was involved in the Southampton office, which was quite a sizable office, where I was managing partner for 10 years during a period of significant change. Change in terms of strategic change, but also in terms of market forces, in terms of number of people, lots of different aspects of change. And my clients primarily were in the owner-managed sector, where I was responsible for advising them on all sorts of issues surrounding both the day-to-day and the future development of their businesses.
And things like grooming their business as well.
Absolutely right.
And selling them.
Yeah. And many of those were family businesses, so for them I think there's a particular issue with exiting. They either have to hand it on to the family or to find someone else to take the business on, which is often difficult for them at an emotional level as well as a commercial level.
Okay. So the title of this workbook is Prepare Your Business for High Value Sale. So Tim, can you just read the top of the title page of this particular workbook, please?
Certainly. This fast growth workbook for you to prepare your business for a high value sale. The purpose of this workbook is to assist you to create your action plan to prepare your business for sale. By successfully implementing your action plan, you will significantly increase both your sale value and the ease of selling your business.
Both aspects, high sale value and the ease of selling it. To me, it's very much, Tim, like selling a house. You've built the house, you lived in it, and you need to move on. And so we're not talking about selling it, we're actually talking about preparing it for sale. And the sort of things you might do are what? The 6 months leading up to the sale.
I think organising, sort of dusting off, a bit of maintenance, a bit of pruning, a bit of cleansing, a bit of. It's about impressions.
Yeah.
I think it's not about radical change to the business. It's about presenting it in the most favourable light. So to take your house analogy, I think it's about a little bit of touching up. It's about a little bit of redecoration here and there. It's about. Sometimes one might regard as being cosmetic things.
And as you get towards the sale, it's sometimes even more cosmetic. The most famous example is having the smell of fresh bread or fresh coffee in the house. These things can make a big difference to the impression. Okay. All right. So, a couple of hints from this workbook I want to share with you. If you turn to page 1, can you just read the top there, Tim, for me, please?
Your sales and profits are increasing year on year. However, if you want to sell your business easily and for a high value, you may find this difficult. Why? There are 3 common reasons why potential buyers may not want to purchase your business. These are: 1, the business health check on your company reveals some serious weaknesses and problems. 2, your business plan fails to inspire them about your company, the performance and the potential growth of your business. And 3, at the critical due diligence stage of your sale, you and your company lack the key documents required by potential buyers. This causes endless delays and frustration for you and your potential buyers.
And this particular fast growth workbook will give you an action plan to tackle those 3 things. Make sense?
Absolutely.
Powerful stuff. It's based on some work I did with a business leader who had a fairly conventional, mundane even, building services company employing about 20 people in Southampton. Not a particularly valuable company, and construction businesses are notoriously difficult to sell. And the owner of the business at the time was a great guy called Richie Clapson. In 2006, Richie did something quite extraordinary. He purchased a one-man business that designs concrete curtaining for stadiums. And the most famous example around here is, I think you know, it's Southampton, our cricket stadium. Got this amazing effect on the, as you look across. You could see it when you arrive. Quite an oddball sort of thing, really. So he had this company with this particular technology. That year he bought the company. Talk about luck, and it is partly luck. The UK, or London, won the bid for the Olympics. So suddenly, what was on everybody's mind? Building stadia for the Olympics. Huge investment.
Perfect timing.
And he had the technology to build these beautiful stadiums, and in fact you can see it at the Olympic Stadium. So I had a number of conversations with him, and he said, Christopher, should I wait until 2012 when the Olympics was going to be run, or should I sell earlier? And I said, why don't we groom and prepare this business for an early sale? And this is fact. He did that, and in that 12-month period, 2006 to 2007, he successfully sold his business to one of the biggest construction-related companies in Britain, Capita, for a huge amount of money, £4 million, which dwarfed his turnover. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's about timing, but it's also about doing this. And he taught me some of this stuff. We developed this for this sale, and so forth. Okay. So hint number 1 is this health check. And this came from Richie, so suitably modified. It's on page 2. And it says, assess how prepared your business is currently for sale and plan your key actions. So this is like 6 months to go, having decided you want to sell. And down the left-hand side, things like your HR, your human resources, your marketing, sales team, profit, financing, purchasing, and your IT. And on an 8-point scale, 8 being your business is highly prepared for a successful sale, and 1 being low, just rate yourself against that.
I think what's very useful about that is it covers the whole breadth of your business, the whole spectrum, and it's quite tempting, I think, for people to just focus in on one or two of those areas particularly. It might be about sales, or it might be about profit, but the other areas are may not be of equal importance, but are certainly of significance to a potential purchaser.
And then it says in the middle of the page, which I'll read, from these scores, identify 3 specific areas of your business and the key improvements, actions that you will implement before you consider a sale. Decide these actions, by whom and by when. So great little action plan. And Richie did this for his business. Fantastic. Okay, so that's all about getting and making the business attractive. Okay. Secondly, not many businesses have a business plan that a potential purchaser would find inspiring. So on page 3A is a template for our viewers to use, including executive summary at the top, the business and its management, number 1, number 2, products and services, etc. Can you see the usual sort of things? With some very simple things for people to do. And this business plan, can I borrow that one there, just to show that one? Will certainly look a bit like that eventually. Nice and relatively succinct, but a clear template, the sort of thing that a potential purchaser would find interesting. Can you just show us the other one?
Yes, this is one which, just if you look at the thickness of that one compared with the thickness of this one, I've seen some plans of not quite of this size perhaps, but getting on for that size with all sorts of information. The idea about the distinction between the two sizes is this is a much more succinct version. It's got some nice tabs on. It's more structured. It's more organised, and it makes it easier for someone to look at. I think that's.
But it is comprehensive.
Yeah.
And if you get the contents right, the first one, the thinner one, is likely to inspire people to buy. And the third hint is prepare for due diligence. Just for our viewers, can you give me a one-liner on what you think due diligence is in this context?
Due diligence is the process by which a prospective purchaser would come and have a look at your business. If you go back to your analogy of a house, it's when someone comes to look around your house, they'll come and try and get a feel for it. They'll try and understand what the business is about, where the strengths are, where the weaknesses are, and this is about preparing for that inspection process, if you like.
Great, inspection. And again, down on page 4, Tim, there's a list of things that goes on to the second page, that things to have ready for due diligence. Now, some of these things, they're not hard to do, they just need to be collected. And what we're saying at the bottom of page after page 4, can you just read that there?
Yes, which of the above documents do you currently not have filed? Please asterisk these. Of these, which 6 will you collect and or generate over the next 6 months? Please double asterisk these, in other words, give them particular importance. And working in strictest confidence, which members of your team, including yourself, will be responsible for collecting and creating these documents? Please put yours and their initials against the double asterisk 6 key documents.
Okay. So you've concentrated, you know who's collecting what, and definitely invest in one of these. Very low tech, but very important. A folder like that, it's a ring binder, and some dividers. And if it's a 2-ring binder, a punch, and if it's a 4-ring binder, a 4-wheel punch. And start collecting information. Start now, so that when due diligence arrive, say you're buying my company, I say, okay, Mr. Bayliss, I'd like to have a look at so-and-so. It's all here.
Makes the process more streamlined, is much more efficient.
So this particular workbook is about both increasing the sale value by doing the health check and having a business plan that inspires people, and secondly, making it easy, i.e. having the documents. And if you do those things, you can then move on to the final workbook in the 50 series, which is how to sell it for a high value. And that's it. Tim, thank you for your time.
Pleasure.
And may I wish you every success with the growth of your own business.